Hi everyone, it's Emma. I feel like it has been so long since I filmed a video where I was just standing in front of my bookshelf like this, but today I'm going to be doing my spoiler-free review for Station 11 by Emily St John Mandel. Little Gigi is hanging out with me from Kiki's delivery service. This book is kind of hard to put into a genre. Before I read it, I was told that it was like a dystopian and it was about this traveling symphony, but reading it was actually pretty different than what I expected it to be. It is a dystopian, but it doesn't really compare to other dystopians that I've read. Maybe the reason for that is because this is not YA, and I think all the other dystopians I've read have been YA. In general, I'm not a huge fan of dystopian. They just usually feel kind of flat to me and like they lack beauty and hope and things that I enjoy in books. This one was not like that at all. It was full of human life and happy things were happening in the midst of all the intense things that were happening. It's basically a plague ruins the earth type book. There's this sickness that sweeps over the entire earth. Humanity changes drastically, obviously. What I really enjoyed about it is that we actually follow the story at different time points. So it starts right when the plague hits, but then you like flip-flop between the future. I think it's 15 years in the future, and then you kind of like go back and you keep up with the characters and like the people who are related to the characters in some way through different time points around the plague. One of the things that made this a 5-star book for me was the ending. It is without a doubt one of my favorite endings to a book ever. It was so poignant and it wrapped up so well, and the way it all tied together was just mind-blowing. My mom had read this book before me. We were on vacation visiting my brothers. I came out of my room and I was like, Mom, because this big thing happened, or I figured it out before it happened, but I was like, I just figured something out. It's blowing my mind. Cool stuff. One of the reasons that I don't generally enjoy dystopian as a genre is because to me it doesn't really feel like this could happen. It never feels like our world. I think it's usually a lot farther in the future. This one only takes place like 15 years after the collapse. It feels so real, which is a little creepy, and I enjoyed that because it's a little trippy. There were some scenes that were happening in airports, and I was reading it while I was traveling, so I was like in airports thinking about this book. The people felt like real people. It felt so much like how would regular everyday people adapt and how would they handle it if this plague swept over the whole earth and life as we knew it changed completely. This book is very, very character focused, which of course is another reason that I love it, because that's one of the big reasons that I read. I was told that it was about this traveling symphony who performs Shakespeare plays. Like, that was what I heard as the summary before I started reading it. So I was expecting a lot of it to center around the traveling symphony and their performances and stuff, but it's not about that really. It's about the people in the symphony, how lives intertwine and how people impact each other in small ways that become big ways. You don't actually see the symphony performing a lot of the time. It really is more about the people and about the life that happens in between. That's why I enjoyed it so much, because it is a dystopian. The world has ended, and yet people are getting married and having babies and having best friends, making art and creating incredible things. A lot of people in the book are somehow related to this one character named Arthur, who is an actor, and he's the first character that you meet in the beginning, and it's really cool to see how all the characters that you follow, either he had some impact on their life or they were in some type of relationship with him, and the author really pulls it together in an amazing way. Like, by the end, I was just so impressed. This was one of those books that grew on me the further I got into it. In the beginning, I wasn't like super attached to the characters. I wasn't quite sure where the author was going with all of the different storylines that you're following. But the ending of the book is really one of my favorite endings ever because of the way it all comes together. The writing style is really beautiful. Like, I marked a lot of quotes in here. I'm not going to read them to you guys because I'm planning to revive my monthly favorite quotes videos that I used to make, and I'm saving them for that. So, once I make that video, you'll get to hear them. I think that's everything I have to say about this book, other than I enjoyed it a lot. It's definitely become one that I'm going to recommend a lot, especially in the bookstore. I feel like it really transcends genres, so even if you're not a dystopian person or if you don't normally read adult fiction, I think it's one that a lot of people will enjoy. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you have anything to say about Station 11, if you're planning to read it, if you have read it, whether you like it or not. I know a lot of you had told me that it was one of your favorite books, and I'd gotten a lot of requests for this review, so I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a lovely day or night or afternoon wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video.